All right, quick review of this SGA85 STIHL Backpack Sprayer. It's battery operated and it's a big step up from the SG20, which you have to manually pump to keep pressurized. I'm already in the STIHL battery ecosystem because I have this STIHL chainsaw right here. I've had this for a couple years. That works pretty well. You just got to have, like any chainsaw, good sharp chain. And I'm sure the newer battery chainsaws are much better. It works for what I need. I mean, I'm not cutting trees all day, but you know, I have like 2.5 acres, so you know, the trees, makes quick work of the trees that I use. But with this backpack sprayer, you know, I'm not a professional, but I like to keep my lawn and my, you know, the grounds in shape, and you need chemicals for it. Yeah, real world, what do I use it for? Well, I use it mainly to put out the soil amendments for my lawn, because I've got zoysia grass and you have to stay on top of it. You know, you use regular lawn fertilizer with a high nitrogen content. It's all well and good, but you got to take care of your soil. So I knew sea kelp is good for your soil. So I started Googling, where can I get sea kelp for my lawn? Well, I came across this N-Ext line of soil amendment fertilizer. They've got this pack. It's got this RGS, microgreen 002, humic 12, and this aerate. And I put one of these out once a week. Actually, sometimes I mix the aerate with the RGS, all through the backpack sprayer. The RGS, I guess, feeds the microbial life that's in your lawn. That helps your lawn extract more nutrients out of it. The microgreen is basically the sea kelp. It's got potassium and iron in it. And then the humic 12 is humic acid that you can, helps the roots absorb more stuff out of the soil. I'm not a chemist, I don't know. You know, you can go look at this stuff up. The aerate, you know, I live in North Florida, and it's a lot of red clay. You know, if you don't have a lot of topsoil, the red clay can be a problem. You ever fly into Atlanta, look down at construction sites, and it just looks like red soil? That's kind of what we have here. So that chemically breaks it down. So the soil amendments I use, and then the lawn food I use is this. Now, a lot of people turn their nose up at Miracle-Gro, but man, I get this stuff works well. And then for the shrubs and the camellias and the hydrangeas, I use this Miracle-Gro food. But what you have to do with the granular stuff is you got to dissolve it, because the granules will get clogged in the system. So I'll put it in the bucket, mix it up until it's dissolved, then I'll pour it in there into the sprayer. So you know, I use other stuff like this fungicide. Blindside is the herbicide I use. The problem is, living in Florida, you can't put this out above 85 degrees. It'll scorch the lawn. I've done it. You know, I'll spot treat it and it'll really discolor the lawn. I've got zoysia grass and it doesn't like it, but it takes care of the weeds, because the weeds really don't like it. So it works. Celsius, I think I might switch to for the hot summer stuff, to kill that dove grass. And you know, there's another one, Speed Zone, I want to try too. But yeah, so that's what I use it for. I want to go over one thing about the sprayer that I don't like, and that is it came with an adjustable cone nozzle. So this was a big problem. I called North America and said, listen, you know, I can't apply my fert to the lawn with a cone that came with it, because it's not consistent. You know, it has this weird spray pattern to it. And I like to use fan nozzles because, you know, this nozzle holder I bought, and I'll tell you about it in a second, but if I just hold the wand like this, 20 inches off the ground, I've got a 110 degree nozzle, fan nozzle, and I can just walk with a steady, consistent stream. All right, so as I was saying, this is the nozzle holder. The part number is 4255 500 2800. One shtuk. Had to get it from Europe. North American customer service said they couldn't get one, and I went to my local steel dealer and they said it's not ready yet. But this is the little holder. Now, you still have to use the elbow joint where the adjustable nozzle attaches. But this little part here is just the nozzle holder. And then this is the actual nozzle. This is a 110 degree fan nozzle that puts out a lot of that fert. I hold it 20 inches off the ground and I can just walk steadily without spraying my boots, without spraying it forward. Just a nice even fan stream where I can consistently put the chemicals out. Can't do that with the adjustable cone nozzle. So that was a pain. Maybe some point they'll come out with the nozzle accessories, but I'll maybe put a link in it to see where you can get that. So that's a big thing. Now, you can use the cone nozzle to, you know, do the camellias and the azaleas and your whatever shrubbery and stand-up stuff. But for lawn applications, you got to have a fan nozzle. Let me zoom in and move the camera so that we can see the actual sprayer. All right, let's start with where you're going to put your stuff, you know, the tank. So it has a nice big lid and it has a nice seal in there. It looks like that seal's replaceable. It also has the strainer that helps protect big granules from getting down into your pump. And it has a string on it so you can keep it all together. So the strainer goes in there, and that's the first order of protection. I guess let me take that back off. There's another holder, or excuse me, in the bottom, there's another filter. It's this guy, and this is a little bit more detail or fine filter. It goes in the very bottom. Let me see if you can see in there. See that down in there? The problem is there's a little well down in there. I don't know if it's focusing in on that. But unfortunately, that little square holds a little bit of fluid. When it sprays out and you get finished with it, with all your chemical, there's still a little bit left in there. Kind of annoying. This thing holds 4.5 gallons. To press that back down in there. Holds 4.5 gallons, which is plenty. This thing is heavy. It's 15 pounds without fluid. I'm gonna have to weigh it to see how much fluid is actually in it, or how much it weighs with fluid. But see, you've got your gallons over here, and it fills up to 4.5, and then there's your metric measurement. Here's the wand. It's okay. It's got this pressure gauge in bar. So I guess, what's 1 bar? 14.5 psi, and then 6 bar is like 87 psi. The blind side recommends between 20 and 40 psi. Otherwise, if you crank it too much pressure, you're just making too fine of a mist, and it's just blowing stuff all over the atmosphere. So you want to keep it into the recommended. Now the tip makes a big difference too. You know, you're just going to have to do research on that. I'm not a professional, but I'll do what the instructions say. So I'll apply it at around 2 bar, the herbicide. The fertilizer, it doesn't matter. You know, you just don't want it misting and spraying all over. I usually keep that at a little higher, that setting. Let me show you the settings. All right, so here's the battering compartment. So this lid is nice. It's got a nice seal on it, and those springs are pretty substantial. So see that? It keeps it closed. It has a nice drip edge here because you're going to spill some out. The water will come down these channels and straight down and away from the battery. And this also keeps the water away from the battery. Now this rocker switch is great. Look at it. It's nice and sealed. It's nice quality. This is the LED, and this is the rotary dial for how much pressure you want. And you can tell how much pressure you're getting based on the bar. But see, that's where the battery goes. Actually, let's see if I can put this in. All right, so this battery, just open the lid, and it goes into the compartment. You just press it in like so, close the lid, and turn it on. It has an LED light, and it beeped when it came on. Now if you don't use the trigger for 15 minutes, it automatically shuts off. Then you have to turn it off and turn it back on. But this is all nicely sealed in here. It's well made. It's got a nice seal. And here's your adjustment for the pressure in bar. Like I said, 14.5 psi at the minimum and 87 psi at the max. So that's handy. What else? The strapping is really great. The sticker's kind of coming off, but I care less about that. It's got this nice handle up here. Can you see that in the camera? No. All right, so here's the straps. It's got this nice carry handle here. What's really great is these chest strap. I guess it just evens out the weight distribution on your shoulders, but this makes a big difference, this chest strap. It's got this fancy piping, whoa. And it's well padded. It's got this back padding on it that's super comfortable. I mean, this thing you can carry all day without a problem. It's heavy. I mean, 4.5 gallons is pretty heavy. So yeah, let's load it up with some stuff and see how it works. All right, so let's load up this sprayer with some fert and see how it works. But like I said, the lawn food, the Miracle-Gro lawn food that I'm going to put out is granular, so it's got to be dissolved. You can use the hose end sprayer, but then you have to fight the hose. I much prefer using this. Now this, like all Miracle-Gro granular products, you can look and do the math to see how much it covers. This comes with 4 packs, and each pack covers 1,000 square feet, so that's perfect for my 4.5 gallon sprayer. So I'll take a pouch out. And break it up a little bit. Feeder refill packet, one use approximately 10 to 12 minutes. Well, that's if you're using that hose end sprayer. Best results use every 7 days. I don't do that much. It's a lot, Miracle-Gro. So anyway, let me open that up, put it in my bucket. And then let me put some water in there. It's my nice Ely hose reel. You have to check out my video on that Ely hose reel. It's really great. That's too much. So let me use this. Where's the garden shower? So I fill this about, I'm using 4 gallons, but I'll put about a gallon in there. And then I use my drill and mix it all up so it's nice and dissolved. Now, I don't know why I'm not using my gloves. I know it's just fertilizer, but you need some good nitrile gloves. Is that how you say it? Now, when I'm using herbicide, I mask up, long sleeves, the whole 9. Sometimes I'll use safety glasses, but these are great masks right here. This is this 3M N95. It's got a little valve that lets you breathe. It's the 3M 8511. These things work great, and they're disposable, so when they get all sweaty and nasty, you just throw it out. You can see what I'm doing? Yeah. So anyway, let me keep mixing this up. Now, I want to make sure that there isn't any granulars left in it. See, it's all dissolved nicely. So then I don't have to worry about granulars getting stuck, granules. Now, one thing I haven't showed you is that there was the strainer on the top for big particles that helps save the pump, the little strainer in the bottom. And then there's one more filter in this contraption. Is it in there? Where is it? Oh no, it's not in the wand. I just messed up my alignment. It's in the handle. Pull this bad boy out, right? It's not there. It's in here. Now, another, I complained about, moaned and groaned about the fan tip nozzle, but they use these nice O-rings. There's a name brand for it. I forgot. I'll link to it. But here's the fine mesh, and you can see that it's filtered out some of the fertilizer that I've been using. You can see it in there. So let me spray that out. Oh yeah, there's hardly anything in there. That fertilizer is stinky and nasty, and it's turned my tank yellow. But that's fine. That just means it's good stuff, right? The stinkier and the nastier, the better. So that keeps the nozzle from clogging, that little filter. So let's put that back on there. Don't bugger up the threads, which I'm trying to do. There we go. There. So that's all nicely done. So there's that. All right, so now that this is all nicely dissolved, no granules. I don't know why I keep saying granulars. It is granular, but now it's dissolved. So I'll put that in first. And like I said, that'll cover 1,000 square feet. So I'm gonna fill this up. Oh, there were some particles still in the bottom, but not much. I'm gonna fill it up to 2 gallons in the sprayer. All right, so that's 2 gallons. And then I'm gonna take, it's RGS. This is Aerate. Here it is, Humic 12. Now this stuff will help stimulate the turf to absorb that fertilizer. So this is called Humic 12, 12% humic acid. Now they recommend 3 ounces of this stuff per 1,000 square feet. More if you're doing it less frequently. I do it once a month, but you got to shake it up. And then you have to put the mixture in and then put more water in. So shake this up. You don't want this stuff on you. It is stinky and nasty. All right, so it's my little measuring cup. I'm using 4 ounces. Whew. So I'll put my little cup in there. It's 4 ounces. Tighten that back on. And then pour the 4 ounces. It's my measuring cup in there. Now it's not that toxic, I guess, but you don't want it on you. You don't want it on your clothes. Stinks. So now I'm going to fill it up to 4.5 gallons. Now I could be putting this in the sprayer at a faster rate, but it's just going to get foamy. So there's 4 gallons, and then see, it's still got a little bit foamy. I could have taken the sprayer off and just put it in with the hose end. But that is over 4.5 gallons. But it's, you know, that's why I put 4 ounces of this. All right, quick tip number 1. Don't try to lift this from the ground. I mean, it's full of fluid. So it's heavy. I mean, I'm 54 years old AF, as the kids say. But, you know, I still do CrossFit and I can lift heavy. But where you get hurt is if you're awkwardly, you know, lifting from the ground and trying to wiggle into it. But if you put it on your truck tailgate or you put it on a bench like this, you can just slip into it easy. And it's right on your back. And you put this chest strap on and you're ready to rock. I mean, that's the way to do it. Don't try to lift it from the ground. You know, it's just like deadlifting. You know, you want to, don't round your back or don't twist. It's so much easier. So it's a little safety tip. You put it down. Of course, when you're taking it off, it's going to be empty. So let's get this out in the lawn and see how it sprays.
Alright, so with the backpack sprayer I put that soil amendment, the N-Ext products, the Humic 12 and my fert. So since I didn't use the hose on sprayer, I gotta water it in. So I'm letting the irrigation run. And that'll water it in nicely. That's it.
All right, so cleaning is easy. Lift out the cap a little bit, off the screen. Take the screen out. Rinse that out. And that, this is designed so that it dumps out when it's laying horizontal. So get in there and spray it out. Get outside a little bit. See how that comes out? I always recommend waterproof boots too. These I got off Amazon, they're good boots. Then I fill it up. Some water, turn it on, spray it out. So it's clear. It's pretty clear. Take the nozzle off. Really spray it out. That's it. Clean. It's a good sprayer. I highly recommend it. Suits my purposes. And it's a heck of a lot better than that pump, hand pump.